Hi, I'm Leslie Wong, and I will be presenting to you a structurally diverse family. So sit back and enjoy. Foster family. The role of a foster family is to nourish the development of children by supporting birth-family connections, which may include supporting reunification with birth parents, facilitating permanent placement with relatives, providing transportation for and supervision of visits with the birth parents or relatives. Foster care is a term used for a system in which a minor who has been made a ward is placed in an institution, group home, or private home of a state-certified caregiver referred to as a foster parent. The placement of the child is usually arranged through the government or a social service agency. The institution, group home, or the parent is compensated for expenses. The foster or resource parents is a person who acts as a parent or guardian of a child in place of the child's natural parents, but without legally adopting the child. Foster parent. The steps for becoming a foster parent are very similar to those as adopting. The first step is deciding what you want if you want to foster and contacting a foster care agency. It usually takes about a year from the time you first contact an agency to the time when a child is placed with you. This estimate can vary depending on the agency you're working with and the state where you live. Once a child or sibling group is placed in your home, a new journey begins that can last anywhere from overnight to several months. After the immediate safety of the child has been addressed, the next priority is reunifying the child with their birth family. Slightly more than half of all children who go into foster care return to their birth families. The family which I interviewed recently became foster parents, and they fostering to a 10-month-old baby girl. They had a lot of advice to offer, so here it is. What advice would you give to build a partnership with your family? Good communication is the key to building a partnership with our family and with other families. By keeping us informed of our child's progress and by working together to develop a plan for our child's learning will show us that you're interested. Your willingness to listen to our ideas and by being open to our opinions will also build a strong partnership and relationship with our family. On how to best communicate with your family and other families. The best way to communicate with us would be through email, phone, in person, through parent-teacher conferences, or classroom blogs. The more communication, the better. We would prefer being updated with our child's progress daily. Give on how to involve your family in the classroom and school events or activities. We would want to be involved with our child's classroom activities and school activities. We would volunteer on school excursions, meetings, classroom activities, and even night or weekend activities. On how teachers or schools can be more supportive to families. To be willing to communicate with us daily or weekly on how our child is progressing. Inform us on how our child can excel by clearly explaining your expectations of our child to us. On how to work with linguistically and culturally diverse families. First, get to know and understand the family's culture and language, especially if different from yours. The next step would be to help these families understand what is expected of their child and, if needed, get help from other resources or translators. Expose each child to the different cultures and teach them how they should all respect each other's differences. On how teachers can work with community programs to benefit families. Have knowledge of the programs out there. Find out which programs are needed in the school. Get these programs to come to the schools to explain and answer any questions we may have. How to advocate and be a resource for your family or other families. Determine if professional resource groups are needed. Create accessibility to families by providing transportation or having them come to school. Some examples of professional resource groups are ADHD, autism, Tourette syndrome, oppositional defiant disorder, tantrums. Teachers or other professionals to work with this family group. Try to communicate in as many different ways and as much as possible. Be an active listener and listen to their suggestions. Provide variety of activities involving families because they are willing to be involved even if they have busy schedules. Be upfront with families about their child's progress. Understand each culture's beliefs and values and involve their child in different cultural activities. Resources that serves foster families. Casey Family Programs, who foster parent resources, information for current and prospective foster parents. Foster Kids Are Our Kids provides general information on the process of becoming a foster parent. Friends of Youth provides support from a variety of resources to prevent and reduce foster parent stress and family crisis. Foster Parenting, tools and resources for foster parents, state foster parent training requirement. Foster Parent Network Resources, a one-stop shop for resources foster parents need. Local resources that serves foster families. It Takes an Ohana, Hawaii's foster and adoption resource. Hawaii's first resources for families with foster and adopted children. Adopt as Kids, Hawaii Foster and Adoption Guidelines, Adoption and Foster Care Resources for Minority Families. State of Hawaii Department of Human Services, Foster and Adopted Care. Hawaii Parenting and Family Resources Center, Hawaii's Parenting Center for Family Resources, Newborn to Teenager. Hawaii Adoption, agencies adopting, lawyers, foster carers, tools and resources for adoptive parents. Hawaii Foster Youth Coalition by Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Kukui Center assists youth in the foster care system, developing positive avenues and resources in cooperation with a supportive community. The agency I interviewed was Catholic Charities Hawaii. They're contracted by the state to assist with the licensing process for foster parents. Foster parents are required to complete 18 hours of training courses in our Hanai program, Hawaii Assures Nurturing and Involvement. Statewide Resource Families trains and licenses child-specific resource families, offers recruitment and training services for current resource givers. Na Ohana Pulama, Families of Light and Nourishment, provides therapeutic foster care through community-based foster home. Charities of Hawaii provided advice on servicing foster families. Give these families a lot of support, encouragement, and motivation because they have a lot to deal with. Treat these families with respect and keep their situation confidential. Be sensitive and keep in mind the foster child's background of being traumatized. Remember to be open-minded and patient when dealing with these families. Other key information. Make time for yourself to prevent burnout. Whether you're a parent or foster parent, it can be hard to juggle the needs of your children with those of your own. Make sure to take time for yourself. Preventing burnout before it happens makes you a better parent all around. Continue learning about being a foster parent. Even though you have taken the required training to become a foster parent, there is always the opportunity to learn more when the need arises. There is a wealth of resources out there for you. Being a foster parent. Working with behaviors. A foster parent often works with children who exhibit a variety of behaviors. Some reasons children come into foster care: physical abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, emotional abuse, birth of parents' incarceration. Some behaviors can be mild, such as tantrums, bedwetting, cussing, lying. There are some behaviors that can be extreme, such as masturbating, stealing, running away. Parent can do. Many times a foster parent can help a child work through behaviors. It just takes being in a stable, consistent home. However, there are times when behaviors hang on, or sometimes for life. Every child and case is different. These behaviors can be challenging to a foster parent. There are free trainings as well as other resources available to foster or adoptive parents to help in parenting such behaviors. Mahalo for listening to my presentation. Have a blessed evening or afternoon. The bond that links a true family is not one of blood, but the joy you bring to each other's life.